Hello everyone, my name is Giovanni Zecchini, and today I'm gonna introduce you to the effect of plastics on human health and development. In today's presentation, I'm gonna start talking about the sources of plastic intoxication before moving into describing the chemical composition of plastics. I will talk a little bit in detail about phthalates and bisphenol A, two contaminants that are present in most of plastic. I will then talk about the diseases that are related to plastic intoxication, some of the effect of plastic on kids, which symptoms occur in humans, and then I will give a brief history about what national governments and state governments have done so far to prevent plastic intoxication among its citizens. I will then say why we think that BPA-free products are not safe, and I will leave you with a few tips on how to avoid using plastic in our everyday life. A study revealed that 90% of humans have plastic chemicals in their blood. But how we get intoxicated? Well, plastic products like water bottles and food containers contain percentages of BPA and phthalates, which leach and get introduced in our organism. But there are other many products which we won't accept to have plastic, like, for example, canned food. Most of canned food contain a thin film of plastic inside, which leaches and intoxicate our body. Even most of our cities' water piping systems are built by using plastic components. And another very common source for plastic intoxication is thermal receipt paper, an item which we are exposed multiple times every day. But what exactly is plastic? Well, plastic is a product formed by organic polymers of high molecular mass, and it was discovered in the 1950s, and it's now widely used to store food. An interesting fact about plastic is that in its pure form, it has lower toxicity, but the chemical components added to it to make it more appealing to consumers are not, and they're actually responsible for some severe health problems. Chemical components widely used to produce plastic include phthalates. Phthalates are plasticizers that increase plastic's flexibility, transparency, durability, and longevity, and they're manufactured by reacting phthalic acid and anhydride with alcohols. Another toxic component widely used in plastic production is bisphenol A, also known as BPA. This chemical building block is used primarily to make polycarbonate plastic, a lightweight, high-performance plastic. Both of these contaminants are classified as endocrine disruptor or hormonally active agents because of their ability to interfere with the endocrine system in the body. In the next slide, we're going to see what that means in terms of health. These endocrine disruptors interfere with the body's endocrine, hormones and cell signaling system, and they produce adverse developmental, reproductive, neurological, and immunological effects. Some of these health consequences related to the ingestion and inhalation of these chemicals are reduction of women's fecundity, increase in obesity, reduced sperm counts, increased rate of some testicular, ovarian, and breast cancers, an increased aggressiveness, and an increase in heart rate. While BPA and phthalates leach from plastics under any conditions, heating and exposure to microwave radiation and strong cleaning agents accelerate the leaching process. All this results in more chemical components leached from plastics and introduced in our body. So it's good practice to never expose plastic products to these agents. Children are particularly vulnerable to these toxic chemicals since their systems and organs are still developing. And due to the fact that their bodies are small, a small exposure is a big dose and can have big effects on their small bodies. Young children are also more exposed to these risks because they tend to insert plastic objects into their mouth. It has been proven that phthalates and bisphenol A mimic or even suppress hormones like estrogen and testosterone and disrupt normal development and growth. But so how can we make sure our kids don't get exposed to these chemicals? For what we know so far, glass containers are indeed the safest. But if somebody really has to buy plastic product for their kids, it's good practice to avoid plastic with recycling codes number 3, number 6, and number 7, as shown in the slide. Number 3 plastic products are polyvinyl chloride, and they often contain two major toxic substances, like lead and phthalates. Number 6, also known as polystyrene, commonly known as styrofoam, can leach toxic styrene from products like coffee cups and carry-out containers. Under the number 7 category, it's named other. Most of these plastics contain BPA, but also some of these plastics are the less toxic and more modern, so an accurate analysis and a better classification must be done by the government. But how can we detect that we have been intoxicated by plastic? Well, there are several symptoms that can appear in people affected by plastic toxicity, and they include fatigue, poor concentration, headaches, tremors, rapid heart rate, convulsions, and stomach irritation. To find out which contaminants are causing these symptoms, a doctor can suggest a urine test, and with the result of this test, he can tailor a detoxification protocol that suits their specific issues. So it has been proven that plastic is toxic. But why legislators have allowed plastic manufacturers to intoxicate people for so long? Well, the reason is the same reason for many other malpractices in other industries. Money. Money can make people acting like the three monkeys in the slide. For years, researchers paid by the plastic industry tested animals only in their adult stage and only with high doses of BPA. By using this method, these researchers proved that BPA didn't cause any health complication in the animals, but more recent independent studies which used younger animals and different dosages proved the opposite. Since BPA is being found to be toxic, especially for kids, many states started banning BPA from kids' products. As we can see from the map, California is one of them. California banned products which contain BPA in October 2011, or better, it banned all the products targeted to kids between 0 and 3 years old. On this map, released in 2012, we can see how many states already banned or partially banned the use of BPA in plastic, while many still allow plastic manufacturers to intoxicate their people. Even if states are banning BPA from plastic products, the substitute of BPA still haven't been tested enough, and when tested, they actually show some level of toxicity. The most common substitute for bisphenol A is bisphenol S, also known as BPS. And according to a study done by the University of Texas, BPS is equipotent to BPA in an estrogen response element driven protein expression system in breast cancer cells. In addition to this, the study found that BPS is capable to trigger mechanisms that contribute to alteration in cell number, exactly like BPA did. Even if BPS was less likely than its predecessor to leach from plastics under heat, sunlight, and microwave radiation, it still leached. So, are we able to say that BPA-free plastics products are safe? No, we are not. And that's the reason why we should be cautious to not fully believe in stickers like this. And as I promised you earlier, here's a few tips to live a plastic-free life. First tip that I give you, carry reusable shopping bags when you go to the grocery. Second, give up bottled water. Just remember to pack aluminum reusable water in your backpack or work bag. Buy from bulk bins as often as possible. Shop at your local farmers market, and you will get rid of plastics, and you will also stop ingesting a huge amount of pesticides. Carry your own containers, travel mag, etc. Avoid single serving sizes, and compost food waste to avoid plastic garbage bags. By doing this, you will also have some natural fertilizer for your garden.